It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it every morning at 8:30 a.m. and also on Wednesday it's the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook Podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Minute Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.
Good morning, good people. Hope you guys are having a beautiful, beautiful Friday. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. It's your host with the most, Tony Mays, the Veil Salter. The Veil, I guess, is still having his windows put in, so he's not able to be on this morning. But we're gonna proceed as usual and get through this Freestyle Friday like only we can do, man. We got some stuff to talk about, man. There's a lot of stuff going on. And when I say a lot of stuff, it is a lot of stuff going on, man. And I don't know what in the heck I don't know what be on folk mind, man. But it's a lot of stuff going on. We got folk getting arrested for stuff they probably shouldn't be getting. You know, and I do understand the gun laws, right? I understand that when you carry, you know, you have to know the rules around carrying your firearm, especially if you have a license to carry. You have to know what you can and what you can't do. And I think some people are oblivious. Well, and I don't even want to say that, you know, not that they don't understand. So some may have never even been to class to even know how to carry. So that could be an issue that people just don't know the laws around it, you know. And so but still, I think if you are MPD or whoever, if you're MPD, that you know you guys ought to be able to decipher between somebody that's really just kind of trying to protect themselves versus somebody that's out here robbing people, causing all kinds of problems in the streets. And so I think, and I know that's a lot to expect because when we don't have enough officers on the street to protect people, right? And then people start to try to protect themselves and protect, you know, what's theirs. I just think it's a very fine line there. And with that fine line, man, good morning, Alfreda. With that fine line, we ought to be able to distinguish like what, you know, a person really trying to hurt themselves or somebody else, or if they just really just trying to protect themselves. And I just think like when it comes to that, a lot of those laws are taken so literal, and I get it. I believe you me, I get it. And as we're gonna find out this morning, when Queen clocks that T, that you know where it's another incident where we believe that a person was really just trying to kind of protect themselves. It just got kind of caught up in the system. I saw what day was that? I don't know. It was earlier this week where a young man, somebody was trying to, and I want to say it was multiple people, and he shot and I don't know if he killed the person or shot the person, but whatever it was, or shot somebody. He was charged with I don't know if it was aggravated assault or attempted murder or whatever it was. He was charged, and I was like, and of course I went straight to the comments because the way it read was it looked like the guy was protecting himself, and I'm like, Well, if he's protecting himself, how is he in jail? Because now I do understand part of the gun laws. You could, if it's to preserve life or protect life, you can use your firearm. And so, and it sounds like he was trying to protect himself. He was in fear for his life. Good morning, Isaiah. And so I don't know. I wish we had a couple of police officers to maybe kind of weigh in on that, But I just think sometimes that we're charging these people when they're simply just trying to protect themselves, versus, yeah. And I think you can really, man, when the facts come out, and I guess maybe they're just saying, hey, we're gonna arrest them and then we'll let the court sort it out. But y'all know some of these judges, man, we put it in front of the wrong judge that may not be for us anyway. That could be a strike. You know what I'm saying? We can't always let the system sort it out. Sometimes we gotta look, man, because I've had situations where, like, things happened around me. The police showed up and they were like, man, I don't blame you. I would have did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So, and the person didn't go to jail, none of that, so um because the way they wrote it up, like, I mean, because they really saw, even though the person may have been a hint of wrongness, uh, from a law standpoint, but the justification for what they did was there. If that makes sense, I'm trying to make it make sense. And so that person didn't go to jail. So I've seen instances where people was whooping they children in public, and because the children does something, and the police said, "Man, handle your business, mama," you know. So but then, a certain officer might come and say, man, you can't do that. If you hit them one more time, I'm taking you to jail. The parent like, this is my child. You don't tell me what to do, then boom, they going to jail. So anyway, anywho, it's Freestyle Friday, and we're gonna talk about what y'all want to talk about. I know, I mean, I told y'all I always got something, because there's too much stuff going on to not have something. And because, y'all know we always say the main purpose of this show is to help people to become better versions of themselves. And if we don't understand, if we can't identify with the wrong, or how we wrong people or wronged ourselves, or how can we be better if we don't understand? So our job is to bring it to the forefront, to talk about it and figure out. And that's why y'all hear Lavelle saying sometimes we'll take a negative situation and try to turn it into a positive, because we don't talk about negative situations just to hop on it and beat a dead horse down. What we want to do is find out how can we take that situation and get something positive out of it, so that we can move and grow from it and become the better version of ourselves. So, and that's what it is, man. We want to become the better version of ourselves. And how can we do that? By learning, growing, and understanding what's out there. Man, y'all quiet this morning. What is going on? Is it too early? It's Friday. Too early for y'all this morning? Dude, what is going on? Uh, but yeah, so we just want to become the better version of ourselves, however that look, however that may be. We've often said that if um, every 4 to 5 years, you should be growing, you should be learning, changing, evolving. And if you're not, if you're still stuck in the year you graduated and your mindset is still the same and everything, then you're not growing. Especially if that was 20 years ago. If you ain't changed in 20 years, something wrong. Something is really wrong with you if you have not changed in 20 years. And that's horrific. The fact that um, that you hadn't changed. So we want to be better. Let me see if I can find this article out here. Uh, Y'all give me a second. Okay, I'm gonna do Tennessee. And I hope it's a video. Let me go to videos. Okay, this might help. Okay, let me try this one, y'all. Wait a minute, I'm gonna share this. I'm gonna share this so y'all can see. I want y'all to fully understand, just like me. I want to understand too. You know, I want to understand this as well.
The three causes of negligent discharges. Right now, you know the root cause. Magazine out, gun cleared and checked. So this is empty gun. The root cause is always going to be, you know, your booger hook on your bang button, because you can load this gun up, you can sit in the corner, it'll be there for 1,000 years and it won't go off. Right? Something has to manipulate that.
Okay, that's the wrong video. That was not the video I was looking for. Hold on, let me find the right one because that's not the one I was looking for. That is not the one. Let me see if this is it. Let me see. Let me see if this one.
Live in studio now with a lesson for us all on open carry. Joyce.
Yeah, Joy and Joe, the
Morning,
video
Pops.
behind me showing all those young people carrying what appeared to be long guns to the Orange Mound Block Party was shocking. I heard a lot of people in the days following, including politicians, say, well, that's what you get since Tennessee has open carry now. Let's get one thing clear tonight, Memphis. The state's open carry law applies to handguns only. In shocking video after shocking video, young people in Memphis brandishing giant guns.
I've been in this business over 40 years, and I get anxiety, and my law enforcement friends get anxiety.
Benny Cobb, retired SWAT team captain with the Shelby County Sheriff's Office and owner of Eagle Eye Security and Training Services, says the trend of teens arming themselves to the teeth in public is a troubling one.
Some of those young people could say that they're exercising their 2A.
When Governor Bill Lee signed open carry into law, he tweeted, it shouldn't be hard for law-abiding Tennesseans to exercise their 2A, Second Amendment rights. In effect, since July 1st, 2021, Tennessee's open carry law allows an individual to carry a loaded handgun without a permit. You must be 18 or older, in lawful possession of the gun, and in a place where guns are legally allowed. Supporters of open carry say the law appeared to be violated in the Orange Mound mass shooting.
I saw pictures of the guns they were holding. They were not handguns. So you have to be very clear on what we do allow for open carry.
Okay, so let me stop sharing this, because this right here really, this adds a lot of context to what we're talking about in terms of when to discharge a firearm. Because when Governor Bill Lee signed that into effect, where you can have open hand, where you can carry without a permit. See, people don't know. That means people don't know the laws about when you carry it and when you can use a gun. Just because you can open carry and not have to have a permit now. So I have a permit. Let me see if I can find it. I have a permit, but I had to go to an 8-hour class. I had to take a test. I had to qualify with my weapon. Don't y'all laugh at my picture. That picture, oh, I never update my picture. I probably need to update my picture next time. But anywho, I had to sit through a class and learn the laws on when you can discharge your weapon and when you can't and all that stuff, right? And so now what you got is you got a whole bunch of people carrying their handguns openly, because they can. They're exercising their 2A, they're exercising their First Amendment right to carry it, right? So they're carrying these weapons, but they don't really know the laws about when they can use them or not. They just feel, hey, since I can carry, I can protect my somebody trying to break in my car, I can just start shooting at them. No, you can't. And so that kind of puts a lot of stuff in perspective, that you got people now just carrying. So, well, we don't need a permit to carry in Tennessee now. Tennessee is an open carry. You don't have to have a permit. Yeah, but you still need to know the laws about when to discharge. And I'm not saying that you still shouldn't feel like you couldn't protect yourself, right? And there's still a fine line there when you're talking about, okay, let me clock this T, man. I want to clock this T because I think the clock the T will kind of help y'all understand why I'm saying what I'm saying.
Good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that T with your girl, Queen Watkins. Y'all, it's Friday, and I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. But it's time to get into this tea. Okay. So, y'all, there is a 72-year-old woman. They made sure they said a 72-year-old pastor that is facing 3 counts of reckless endangerment and carrying a weapon on school property and many more charges. First off, what is the many more? But let's get into it of why she was charged. So apparently she was going to pick up her grandson, and she saw that her grandson was fighting with some other children. And I guess her mindset went into, ain't nobody gonna mess with my grandbaby. she got out. She was trying to stop the fight, but I guess because she's elderly and she's probably really fragile, she got out her pum-pum. She didn't point it at anybody or anything. She pointed it towards the ground. I get her motive of trying to stop the fight, right? But I also understand that she was at Mitchell Community Center. It was right next to Mitchell School. So there are a lot of children around, and bullets ain't got no daggone name on it, right? So she probably should have called somebody, tried to go get some type of help or something, especially with her being right there at a community center as well as a high school. But I'm guessing her first mind, like, ain't nobody gonna touch my grandson. I get it. But now she's charged and facing multiple different charges, right, at the age of 72 years old. Now, allegedly, they were saying that the boy was getting bullied, right? So we really don't know. We don't know if he was getting beat up and grandma was trying to come in and be like, hey, you finna get the best of my grandson. But allegedly they were saying that he was getting bullied by these children and she was just trying to stop the fight, right? So they did bail her out the same day, but of course she does have to go back to court regarding this situation. So hopefully she don't get charged too much, but at the end of the day, bullets ain't got no name on it, right? So don't be, I get it, you shot at the ground, could have ricocheted and what he hurt, right? I don't know so much about no guns, so don't do too much. But anyhow, her son got on the news and was like, as parents, we need to be more of parents than friends to our children. Well, me and my son have a relationship to where he's comfortable with telling me any and everything, no matter what is going on. He tell me when he get in trouble. Because I'm big on, like, be honest with me, talk to me. But he also knows there is a line, baby, that you're not going to pass. Because I feel like if you have it leveled out as a parent, if you have it leveled out, you should be able to definitely have that relationship as a friend with your child, but also have that stern relationship as well, basically saying, hey, we ain't doing this. But hopefully she gets out sooner than later. But we gotta stop this bullying with our children, y'all. We definitely have to stop this bullying. It's a lot of that going on. Kids are mean as hell nowadays, and it starts from home for real. Like, you might not be telling them to go do this, but they might be seeing this around, like, and feeling like this shit is okay. So talk to your children, let them know what's up. All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men in Hats Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to buy y'all tickets to the meet and greet. You don't want to miss it. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
So, I have so much to say. So, I get it, and the article also said that the children also surrounded this old lady's car. So, yeah, you got to understand these are different. We got a different breed of kids nowadays, and I get it, and I get what she was saying about shooting in the gun. It could shooting in the ground. It could ricochet, but to me, clearly she didn't want to hurt nobody. That wasn't her intentions because she shot in the ground. She didn't shoot at one of them to try to get them off her grandson. And it was several kids jumping her grandson. It wasn't just him fighting. It was several children fighting with him. And so you gonna go in. If you in that, okay, so if you pull up, it's your grandchild, a child, a nephew, or whatever, a niece, and you see multiple children, what you gonna go into? You finna go into I'm scrapping mode, right? I'm defending, helping my kids, grandkids, whatever. And I think that was her trying to really get them off of him so that she could, he could live another day, because I'm telling you, I've seen I've seen situations where I've seen a person get jumped, people stomping the person's head, kicking them in the face. I'm talking about like using all their might to kick somebody in the face, stomp somebody in the head till their body just lifeless. Blood, the head, you can hear bone cracking, they stomping them. I've seen it. I'm telling you, it is not a beautiful sight to see or behold, and you feel so your heart goes out because you can't jump in that instance, because then they turn on you, especially when you're talking about grown folk. But I've even seen kids that, like, I used to pull up my kids. My son used to tell me all the time, Dad, you gonna have to stop jumping in these people fights. Somebody gonna hurt you. And I said, this is what I told my son. I said, I'm not gonna sit back and let a group of kids jump on another kid. I said, because as an adult, I'm looking at that and I'm saying I ain't getting involved in that. But what if that was my child? I would want somebody to intervene and jump in and say, let me help this kid, because he, and I'm telling you, I would as soon as I see it, I run over there and I start just tossing bodies, just putting people off of people, trying to, get them off of them. And I never had one to turn around and swing on me. I mean, luckily they didn't, because it probably been not good for them. But I never had one. When they turn around and realize that I was an adult trying to get them off, they just kind of move, But I was literally picking them up, taking them off of them. And I did this in several situations. I was leaving school when I worked at Kirby, leaving school, and I know it was 30 or 40 kids jumping at one dude. And I just hit the brake, pulled over, and I hopped out the car, and this white gentleman hopped out of his truck, and we went over there and started trying to pull the kids off the dude. And I mean, it was a lot of them. And we were trying to pull them off, pull them off, and they didn't really stop until the police came. Because the police was patrolling that area, and police hit a gas station lot and hit that, and they all just scattered. But at that point, the damage could have been done, because you're talking about 30 or 40 kids. Luckily, thank God, the kid never failed, and he was swinging the best he could to stay up, because if he had failed, it probably been over for him. So again, I used to, luckily my kids are out of school, so I'm not really around the schools like that. But I do understand, like, you're not supposed to carry a firearm on a school property. There are a lot of places, government buildings, city buildings, stuff like that. You're not supposed to take firearms on the premises of those places. Now, how many people y'all think taking firearms on the premises of those places? A lot. They just ain't checking get caught. So I'm gonna give y'all another example. I actually got arrested one time. I was visiting, me and my wife and the kids were visiting someone at a prison, and this is when I was serving warrants. And so I had, the day before, I'd been serving warrants, so I still had my badge in the car, I had my weapon in the car. And it was early in the morning. We left at the house about 4:35 in the morning so we can get there time for visitation, because we had to travel, a good hour and a half. And I wasn't even driving my truck. Monka said, I'm gonna drive. You just get, you've been up all night. So I said, cool. So she drove. I wasn't even thinking about the gun. So when we pulled up, I worked in the prison, y'all, so I know you can't have it on the premises. So when we pulled up, Monka woke me up. She said, babe, what they doing? They stopping cars. And I said, oh, they doing vehicle checks. They doing asking for consent to search vehicles. And then she said, well, your gun over the door. I was like, oh shit. I said, well, I'm just gonna tell, because we was next in line. So I'm just gonna tell the dude, if he want us to turn around, we'll turn around and leave. And when I told the dude, and he was like, what you do? I said, I serve warrants, blah, 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 blah. He was like, oh no, you should be fine. You should be fine. And I said, you sure? I said, because we can just turn around and leave, man. I can turn around and leave, and I can go take this home. We come back another day. No, you should be fine. So they asked, could they consent? I was like, yeah. I said, I ain't trying to hide nothing. My gun in the car, I already told the dude back there. He told me, everything gonna be cool. Man, come 5 minutes later, the sheriff deputy come up. He said, Mr. Mays, he said, I promise you, I do not want to do this. This is not us, but we up here to kind of enforce what this prison is doing, and they're adamant about locking you up. I looked at him and I was like, are you serious? He's like, man, they adamant about it. And he said, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna put the handcuffs on you in the front so it won't be embarrassing in front of you. And then he took I had a jogging suit on. He pulled my jogging suit down over the handcuffs. And I was sitting there like, bro, I just couldn't believe it. And I'm gonna tell y'all, it was a big money thing, because we was in the hick part of Tennessee, but it cost me over 15 grand to get out of that. And I really still didn't get out of it, because I still ended up getting a misdemeanor and being on 1129 unsupervised probation. So I'm telling you, some places, when they talk about these laws, they are enforcing these laws, and they serious about these laws. So you got to be careful when you're carrying these laws. Exactly. It's like a DUI. Well, I don't know about a DUI, but when you're carrying these firearms, you just have to be careful where you carry them. I know that Tennessee has the open carry. You don't have to have a permit now, open carry, handgun, but you still have to be conscious of where you're carrying it. You know what I'm saying? You can't, and then you got stores and stuff telling you outside that no firearms allowed on premises and all that, and people still walk right past them signs like, I don't care, this is my Second Amendment right and all this stuff. My First Amendment right and Second, Fifth Amendment and whatever the amendment right it is, and they carry them right on in there like it ain't no problem. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, man. With today, the way these young folk are out of control, I get it. And the crazy part about these young folk, like back in the day, man, stock market open. Back in the day, man, when people, I mean, there still was some fools out there that would kill you, they'll rob you and kill you. But most of the time, you got robbed or whatever back in the day, man, or carjacked. They just trying to take your vehicle, gone about that bit. Now, these young folk now, they on something else. They like, oh, you didn't see my face. But half of them coming with the ski mask on already. You see them coming, and if you don't keep your head on a swivel when you out here riding, and they prey on people, and this is not just like the young folk, but this happens a lot too with people who are are like trying to kidnap women and stuff like that. They prey on people who are not paying attention. So if you walking around, you got that cell phone to your ear and you just you ain't paying attention. Yeah, you know, you ain't paying attention. They less likely to prey on, I mean, they're likely to prey on you because you're not really paying attention. And I be telling my wife them all the time, shit, y'all, when y'all out, just be paying attention. Don't be on their phone, man, pay attention, watch, looking around you. You know, there was a lady, they had a video of, she ended up getting abducted. She, the guy was watching, you could tell he was watching the whole time on video. And he walked like he was walking behind a truck, a big truck. And she was parked right outside this big truck. And then she put her purse in the car, and then she grabbed the basket and went to push the basket away. As soon as she pushed it past, the dude climbed, opened her door, got her purse, took off. Well, this was like he stole her purse. This wasn't the one that got abducted. He stole her purse. And she turned around, got in the car, wasn't paying no attention. And now her whole purse gone, everything. So she gone. She, this man, and then she ain't see nothing, but it's on video. Then there was an instance, kind of same situation. Lady wasn't paying attention on the phone, where she opened the door, unlocked the door. When she unlocked the car, turned around, talking, pushing the basket. Somebody got in her car. He got in the back seat, and then she got in the car, and the car didn't move. All of a sudden, you can see somebody. You can see like the man that was in the back seat getting in the front seat. So he did probably put something over, passed out. She didn't passed out. And then he got in the front seat and drove her car, and that was on video. But this is how they're abducting you women, because you're not paying attention. And you got to be paying attention out here. And so, again, I'm back. I don't want to get too far. This is why you need to understand the laws around carrying. Yeah, you can carry. The government bill at least signed it where you can carry your handgun openly, and you want to carry your handgun. But you need to know the laws, like where you can carry it to, where you can't carry, where you can have it, when you can fire upon somebody. And really, you should only be firing your weapon in the to preserve life. When you see somebody, like somebody got a knife running towards you, yeah. Or you see somebody beating somebody, bludgeoning, beating somebody to death, and you take out your firearm and you say, "Don't stop," and then you shoot a pop. Well, you was preserving life. That person was about to beat somebody to death, and you was preserving life. So you can, discharge it, in those instances. But openly pulling your gun out and shooting up in the air or shooting at the ground, that's reckless endangerment. And depending on who's around, but I get it. If you're saying, I really don't want to kill nobody, here's 5 people jumping you're a woman, 5 people jumping your husband, 5 grown men jumping your husband, right? They beating your husband, just beating them, and you don't really want to shoot nobody. So you take out your gun and just shoot in the air, pow! And they shoot out running. Then the police pull up and take you to jail for reckless endangerment, and your husband laying on the ground, bloody mess. But that's the law. You should have shot one of them. You would have had a better chance shooting one of them, because they would kill them. It was 5 of them. They were killing them. You probably would have had a better chance then, a better defense then. So that's all I'm saying. You can't just carry because it's cool to carry, or it's okay because that's the law. You got to know the laws too. And I really do. I feel for the 72-year-old grandmother that was literally trying to just protect her grandson, and probably herself. And because these young folks do care, they disrespectful. They don't care. They probably would have turned around and punched her. You know what I'm saying? So they don't really care. I feel for her in that instance, and a young man that was charged with murder too, that shot the person protecting himself. But I used to have to tell my son all the time, because he said, "Man, they steal my car. I come out, they stealing my car. I'm finna start. I'm shooting first." I'm like, you going to jail. You can't shoot. Now, if they shoot at you first, you walk out the door, they shoot at you, and you shoot back and you kill one of them, then you well within your rights. But you can't just come out shooting at somebody in your driveway because they breaking in your car. The laws don't protect you against that. They're only gonna protect you. Another example. I was getting ready to let my dogs out one day. That's when I had a whole bunch of dogs. And I was getting ready to let them out in the front yard because I used to let them out in the front yard, let them roam the front yard. You know, I was always look out, make sure nobody was really walking down the street. A lot of times they wouldn't walk out of my yard though. They would just be at the edge looking at the people. And but anyway, this particular day I was getting ready to let them out, and I opened the door. As soon as I opened the door, I heard pow, 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 and I closed the door back. I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So I end up peeking, and I see one of my neighbors shooting at a guy walking down the street. There's a guy and a girl walking down the street, and I see my neighbor shooting at him, and the person shooting back. And I'm like, "What in the hell is going on? This is like Wild Wild West out here, right?" So I instantly, once they finally stopped and left, because I heard somebody scream, and it sounded like a child, and then I saw a car zoom off, you know. So later I found, because I went straight to my cameras, because my camera angle, it has a wide range, so it caught like most of what's going on from the shot. So I went back, I made the video, because I knew as soon as the police come, what they gonna do? They gonna start knocking on doors. You see anything? Oh, I know that you got cameras. So I said, "Man, what's your email address?" He said, "I appreciate it." So I sent it. I played the video for him, sent it straight to his video. And so the guy that was staying at the house with his mama, him and his wife was going through something. They went together. He had the kids over there with him. She decided she gonna come pick up the kids, maybe because he had them over the weekend. I don't know. She was coming to get the kids, and while she was over there, and I guess getting ready to leave, her car wouldn't start. And so instead of her saying, "My car won't start, let me figure out something, get it towed, or let me just call somebody to come get me," she called her boyfriend, who she's now dating and pregnant by, to her husband's house. And the husband and the boyfriend had already been into it. And so anyway, the kids was in the car with whoever brought the boyfriend over there. The kids had got in the car with him. So the husband shot first, and the guy shot back. So the husband ended up going to jail because he shot first, and the dude was protecting himself by shooting back. But in the process, the husband shot his own child. That's what the screaming that I heard on the video and the car zooming off. The husband shot the child, shot one of the children. The child was okay, but shot his own child. So not only did he go to jail, he had to think about, I shot my own child. So again, you can't just be popping off, shooting your weapon, firing off just because somebody in your yard. No, it does not work like that. So you have to be really careful about when you're discharging your firearm, how you're discharging your firearm. Again, like I told my son, just because somebody out there trying to steal your car, don't mean you can run out there shooting at folk. Now, if you run out there and then somebody shoot at you first, oh, you let it rip. Because most of the time when these people come, let me help y'all understand something. When these young folk come to steal your car, it's not just one person. It's not just one person and the driver of the other car. Let me make that perfectly clear to y'all. It's generally multiple. It's 3 or 4 of them. You got lookouts. You got the guy stealing the car. You got the guy lookout. You got the guy driving. You might have 2 lookouts. That's why they always had a drop on folks, because you run out, hey man, and they pow, pow, you know, because they got the drop on you because they already looking out for you when you run out there. So, and that was his whole thing on that. They already got the lookout, so I'm running out shooting anyway. No. Let them shoot first. Just try to, you come out, don't be just standing there, hey man, what you doing? You know, now put yourself in a position behind something. Hey, what y'all doing? Or just holler at the door. Then if they shoot, you let it rip. So you can't do it. And I feel for the 72-year-old grandmother. I really feel for her in her situation. I'm gonna play the video again for y'all because I played the count at the top of the hour, but I'm gonna play it again for y'all.
Good morning. Y'all know what time it is. Put them phones down, fingers up. It's time to clock that too with your girl, Queen Watkins. Y'all, it's Friday, and I hope y'all are having an amazing morning. But it's time to get into this tea. Okay. So, y'all, there is a 72-year-old woman. They made sure they said a 72-year-old pastor that is facing 3 counts of reckless endangerment and carrying a weapon on school property and many more charges. First off, what is the many more? But let's get into it of why she was charged. So apparently she was going to pick up her grandson and she saw that her grandson was fighting with some other children. And I guess her mindset went into, ain't nobody gonna mess with my grandbaby. she got out. She was trying to stop the fight, but I guess because she's elderly and she's probably really fragile, she got out her pum. She didn't point it at anybody or anything. She pointed it towards the ground. I get her motive of trying to stop the fight, right? But I also understand that she was at Mitchell Community Center. It was right next to Mitchell School. So there are a lot of children around, and bullets ain't got no daggone name on it, right? So she probably should have called somebody, tried to go get some type of help or something, especially with her being right there at a community center as well as a high school. But I'm guessing her first mind, like, ain't nobody gonna touch my grandson. I get it. But now she's charged and facing multiple different charges, right, at the age of 72 years old. Now, allegedly, they were saying that the boy was getting bullied, right? So we really don't know. We don't know if he was getting beat up and grandma was trying to come in and be like, hey, you finna get the best of my grandson. But allegedly they were saying that he was getting bullied by these children and she was just trying to stop the fight, right? So they did bail her out the same day, but of course she does have to go back to court regarding this situation. So hopefully she don't get charged too much, but at the end of the day, bullets ain't got no name on it, right? So don't be, I get it, you shot at the ground, could have ricocheted and what he heard, right? I don't know so much about no guns, so don't do too much. But anyhow, her son got on the news and was like, as parents, we need to be more of parents than friends to our children. Well, me and my son have a relationship to where he's comfortable with telling me any and everything, no matter what is going on. He tell me when he get in trouble. Because I'm big on, like, be honest with me, talk to me. But he also knows there is a line, baby, that you're not going to pass. Because I feel like if you have it leveled out as a parent, you should be able to definitely have that relationship as a friend with your child, but also have that stern relationship as well, basically saying, hey, we ain't doing this. But hopefully she gets out sooner than later. But we gotta stop this bullying with our children, y'all. We definitely have to stop this bullying. It's a lot of that going on. Kids are mean as hell nowadays, and it starts from home for real. Like, you might not be telling them to go do this, but they might be seeing this around, like, and feeling like this shit is okay. So talk to your children, let them know what's up. All right, y'all, that's all the tea that I have. Make sure y'all tune in to 2 Men in Hats Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. sharp. And don't forget to buy y'all tickets to the meet and greet. You don't want to miss it. Y'all have a blessed day. Bye.
Pow, 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 pow. As the video was saying, pow, 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 pow. I ain't got time to be going on there playing with all them sounds. Pow, 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 pow. But yeah, man, I would have. I know I would have done something if that had been my child, grandchild, whatever. I would have done something. What? I don't know. I don't know if I would have necessarily pulled my gun out, not unless I saw them. Maybe they had guns or knives or sticks or bats or something, and they was causing some bodily harm to him like that. Then I probably pulled my gun out. But just pulling it out because they fighting, and and I get it. She's, as Quita said, she's 72 years old, probably a little fragile. And she went into probably the fight or flight. You know what I'm saying? That's my grandchild. I gotta, if I ain't gonna leave, I'm finna stand here and fight, help my grandchild out, And so I get it, but and it's unfortunate that she's facing those charges now. And I really hate it. It was people all in the comments talking about creating a GoFundMe for her. They was tagging Leslie Ballard, because they were saying that this is just not right, because some of these, some of these kids are just so out of control. And these elderly people are scared. I mean, not just the elderly people. I ain't finna just put it on the elderly people. It's a lot of people scared as hell of these kids, because you don't know what you're gonna get from them from one second to the next. Half of them walk around with hoodies on all day. And I just don't understand. It's 90 degrees out there, 100 degrees. Why in the hell are you walking around with a hoodie? To me, you walking around with a hoodie, that means you up to something. Because you trying to be able so you can throw your hoodie over your head and cover your face. That's what I feel like. If you walking around here with a dang on hoodie on and it's 90 degrees outside, I feel like you're trying to do something. You got something. And if I'm a parent, you ain't walking at the house no hot ass hoodie. Boy, if you don't want to take that damn hoodie off, man, it's 90 degrees. You gonna fall out there. Go take that hoodie off. You're not going out the house with that hoodie on. And I think if we got more parents being observant, and paying attention, and but again, we talk about it all the time. These parents are at home, but they're not present. They're at home with these children, but they're not present in their lives. So, some of it is just attention seeking, and some of it is I'm running with the wrong crowd now because you weren't paying me no attention, so I'm running with the ones that's gonna show me some love. And some of it is that you just got some bad ass kids. And so yeah, we just can't be, because we have that open carry law now. You just can't be, walking around here just shooting at the ground, shooting in the air. And I get it, but I think every situation ought to be different. Like they ought to look at every situation according to what's happening and say, hey, well, I understood why you did it. Even though it wasn't right, I understood. Slap on the hand. Don't do it no more. If you do it again, Miss Jones, we're gonna have to lock you up. Nobody was hurt. Thankfully, nobody was hurt in this one, Miss Jones. So don't do it again. Next time somebody can be hurt. I understand you was just trying to protect your grandson, your grandchild. So, and then, but you got situations where folk just out here playing around, or on the 4th of July or New Year's Eve, just pow, 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 pow. And we'll pull up and tell them to stop shooting. Man, y'all stop shooting. That stuff got to come down. You don't take them to jail. You know what I'm saying? You don't put them. Woo, y'all, we got vendor fees coming in and everything. Yeah, but we got vendor fees coming in and everything. You hear me? Y'all, 2 Men and a Half Man Meet and Greet Podcast Networking event Saturday, April the 5th from 12 to 4 at the Alpha Memphis Education Foundation, 4122 Barton, Memphis, Tennessee. 25 in advance. Stay at the door. Vendors $100 and $150 depending on the space that you need. And so, man, I've already sold 2 tickets. Got my vendor. I'm killing Mayor Mac right now. Mayor Mac, I got a vendor and 2 tickets sold. While you tripping? I'm asking everybody that's part of our networking to invite people. Just because they're not part of our network now don't mean we want as many people in the building as possible. We want to create. Matter of fact, I'm asking everybody that's part of the network now to invite at least 5 people. If you invite 5, maybe 2 of them will come. And that way we'll have new people that's never really seen our show, never really understood the dynamic of what we do, can come out and we can grow our network by a couple of more people. So make sure you're sharing. Make sure you're sharing the flyer. Go to our page, get the flyer, share the flyer, invite some people. And if they pay by Cash App, just tell them to make sure that they put their name in the comments when they pay that $25 to put their name. So we're gonna be on the list that when they have the list at the door, they can be recognized and allowed in and entree. All right. So, man, we done put out a whole lot of information this quick. But gun safety, man, gun safety is important. A lot of my wife has a firearm, and she won't even carry it until she go to the class. And I get it. You know, I understand it now. At first, I was saying, man, just put it in your car. It's open carry. You can put it in your car. But now I understand why she don't want to carry. She was like, I don't want to carry without knowing the laws around carrying and what I can and can't do. And I understand it. And so I think them just saying anybody can carry now, you don't need a permit. I really think that was crazy for them to do that. For one, it took money out of the state because they charge for those permit licenses. So that took money away from the state just because now people are not. I ain't gonna say people are still not going to the classes because people still are going to the classes, but that took some money away from the state for these people. But you got a bunch of ignorant people walking around here that don't know the laws, that think they can just, cause it's an open carry, that I can just carry it into the church, the school, the government facility, the city hall. No, them folk gonna lock your ass up. They're gonna lock you up. You play if you want them. Them folk do not play that. So definitely make sure that you understand the laws. That's all I'm saying. Understand so you won't find yourself in a situation like grandma, where you have pulled your weapon out and you're fired upon somebody, or fired in the air, fired at the ground, and you don't really have justification to do so. And the justification could only be in this instance to preserve your life or the life of somebody else. So you can't just shoot at somebody because they stealing your stuff, ma'am, sir, because they out there taking your car. That's what insurance for. Now, if you ain't got no insurance, then maybe I can see why you kind of tissy, but that's what I pay insurance for. Take it. I'm on a new one anyway. Now I don't like the vandalizing part where they just come bust out your windows and all that stuff. And to me, that's more dangerous. If a person come, because that means they specifically targeting you. It wasn't that you just had a nice car and I just want that car. It's like, I don't like that person. And so it just starts with the busting out of the car window. They might come back and kill your car. They might come back and shoot up your house. So it's something else going on. You need to figure out what else going on if they are vandalizing your property. And sometimes it could be kids in the neighborhood that you didn't roll through the neighborhood and you done told them to get out the street. Because I had that situation one time where we had some kids in the neighborhood. This was years and years ago when my kids were young. And they would be in the middle of the street playing basketball, and then you just had to sit there and wait on them. And you like, hey, you blow the horn, move out the way. At least let the cars come through when you're playing. And so I guess they thought it was funny to egg my house, on Easter, whatever it was, Halloween, whatever, to throw eggs at the house. And then I guess they bragged about it, and it was found out. So needless to say, that never happened again. That never happened again. So but kids are petty like that, man. Some kids are petty like that. They'll come and throw eggs at your house because you done blew the horn at them, told them get out of the street, or you went and told their parents they was doing something that they shouldn't have been doing, and they don't like you now because you snitched on them. ultimately they don't realize that you're saving their life, because everybody don't play fair. What if grandma, the 72-year-old grandma, what if she was just, you know what, I'm with the shit today. And she had the guy in the car and just shot every kid that was around her grandchild. What if she was that type of grandma? You know what I'm saying? And now you got 5 parents or 6 parents, how many other kids she done shot and killed, planning funerals because this woman did shot out because you couldn't keep your kid under control, and he couldn't keep he or she couldn't keep her hands to herself to want to fight somebody. And now you planning a funeral. Man, we got to talk to our kids, man. When I tell you, I talk to my children, I save my children from going to a lot of places that later on found out the place got shot up. They was fighting at the place. See, that's why I don't let y'all go. It's okay to tell these kids no. It's okay to talk to these kids. It's okay to share with these kids and tell these kids, hey, this is what it is. I would say no, and sometimes, and not all the time, but sometimes I would explain why the no was. And sometimes it was just no, because I said so. And I'm the dad of you, the child. I said no. And that's that tough love. But my kids are thank God they're here right now. 30, 34, 31, and 29. And I felt like me and my wife did our job in raising them the best we could and trying to instill in them, all of the good things. Now I'm pretty sure they picked up some bad things along the way. I done heard some of their little sidebar story where they were talking about stuff they did as a kid that we missed. So I'm not trying to tell y'all our children were perfect, by no means. But I'm saying we had a relationship to the point where we could talk to our kids and they could talk to us. So, anywho. All right, y'all, that's all we have for today, man. We thank y'all for tuning in. We hope that we've said something that has inspired you, or at least gave you some clarification or understanding about firearms and when you can carry, when you can't carry, when you can discharge, when you shouldn't discharge. And hopefully, you'll be better because of it. Thank you again, Quita, for sharing that tea. We had to play it twice today. We had to run it back twice today. Thank you for sharing that tea, Quita. Appreciate you as always of keeping us on our toes with the latest tea and giving us engaging content to really kind of talk about in lieu of any other content that we're presenting on that day. So thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. And thank you guys. We'll see you guys Monday morning, man. Hope you guys have a beautiful weekend. Hope everything is well. Hope you guys have a safe weekend. If you're going out, just be safe, whatever you do. And just keep us lifted up. Keep 2 Men in Hats lifted up, man. So we can continue to do what we do and provide great content and engaging content that you guys can engage and you guys can tell you. I was a little quiet on me today, but I get it. I understand. So let's pray. God, we thank you for this day. We thank you for yet another opportunity just to be able to share, just be able to talk about things that we need to know, God, that can help us become the better version of ourselves. We pray now for our viewers and listeners that you will grant them their heart's desire. We pray for Lavelle and his family that you will continue to bless them in a special way. Quita and her family, God, that you will continue to cover them and bless them. Look on me and my family, God. Continue to do on them like you can do. Bless in a mighty way. Grant a favor, unmerited favor, oh God. God, we thank you. We love you. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray and ask these things. Thank God and amen. Man, we'll see y'all Monday morning, same bad time, same bad place. 2 Men in Hats. Let's talk about it.
It's the 2 Men in Hats podcast. Let's talk about it every morning at 8:30 a.m. And also on Wednesday, it's the midweek service at 6:30 p.m. You can also join our Facebook group on Facebook podcast with the most. We got Tony Mays and Lavelle Salter. It's the 2 Men in Hats podcast. Let's talk about it.